Greetings and welcome to this episode of Everyday Enchantment. This is the holiday edition. I'm your host, Stacey and today we are going to get into all the juiciness of gift giving because I think that's one of the things that trips all of us up. It's definitely tripped me up over the years, and I love some of the rituals I've created, some of the ways I've used my intuition over the years. And I want to share everything I know and have learned with you so you can steal it, borrow it, and tweak it and make it your own. Okay. Make it your own. Okay. So, gift giving, let's talk about it. The first thing that I think about gift giving is I found, and this maybe be 20 years ago, right? We had to give gifts to almost everybody. And it was a lot of pressure and it was a lot of expense. I mean, there's been many times where I haven't had a lot of money. So, what I have decided to do in terms of making gift giving simpler for me is I really find a couple of things that I absolutely love. For example, one year I was, and I still love these syrups, but I had these kind of handcrafted syrups that go in your coffee, like pumpkin spice. And there was one like a gingerbread and a peppermint one. And they're just beautiful. The artwork on it is beautiful. They taste really good. You can use them in a coffee or a hot chocolate. You could use them in something else. And what I did for the people that I loved for the most part, like, and I'm talking about my friends group, is I ordered, right, a batch of whatever these were, and then some beautiful mugs, and that's what I gave everybody. I simplified this because it was a very meaningful gift to me. It was something that I knew I really loved, and I think other people would enjoy. And so we don't have to keep recreating the wheel all the time. I had a family member a couple years ago buy charcuterie boards for all of the family members. And I love the idea of that because, again, especially at the holidays when you're running in and out and that kind of thing, just to be able to have, like, I don't know, charcuterie to me is can be a meal. Then you have this beautiful, right, assortment of things. You didn't have to go pick it out, and it gets consumed because for me, as I've gotten older, I realize there's not a lot of things that, like, in terms of items or material things that I absolutely want. What's more important to me is the energy and the intention behind things. So I want people to feel warm and comforted and nourished. And then that leads me to make things easy. When there's a group of family members all gathering, not necessarily that I'm going to be at, but in a particular place. What kind of, again, Baltimore is known for its crab cakes and things. We've done that. My husband and I have done that over the years. It's like gifting people that so they could have a meal, really delicious meal, if you like crab cakes, during the holiday season. So again, doing things that are super, super easy. I used to make all sorts of cookies and do all sorts of intricate baskets, and like the whole thing would have a theme. If that's your jam and that really lights you up and you have plenty of time and space to do it. But if that is something that just like is in your ear giving you pressure, then scrap it. I want you to have permission to make it easy for yourself. I also, this is something that I do with my friends because it does get to be time consuming and expensive. Hey, let's go have lunch together somewhere or go to a movie or do something in January when life is kind of quieted down. And let's really have a beautiful afternoon together or beautiful morning over brunch together. And that, everybody gets to come and pay their own way. And it's such a meaningful thing to me. The pressure that I got kind of succumbed to in gift giving was, oh my gosh, again, I have to. Realizing again, the more I give myself permission to do it differently, to break the rules of whatever the manual is that says this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be like financially hurting yourself because you're meant to give everybody a gift. I'm like, yeah, no. And then the other thing that I love to do too is like, what's something small that, again, isn't very expensive, maybe a nice small box of, like, beautiful chocolate, and I will buy those ahead of time, a couple boxes of those, and then if I'm gonna see somebody or I'm going somewhere, I have something. This idea of making things simpler and easy, like, what can you do now so that over the next couple weeks, you really have your own little again, it's like your own little support system right there in the nook of whatever that is. And, there's years I've been really sick over the holidays, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to absolutely" I've told people I love that I wanted to get gifts for, "I'm going to give you the most beautiful, New Year gift." And, that's okay because I think for me, there was one year a long time ago when I was first married to my first husband, and we didn't really have a lot of money, and he went out and bought me a bunch of things, but again, did it on credit, put some finances risk. Was it nice and thoughtful? Yes, but what I have found is creating rituals. Like, I always go to a tree lighting ceremony with this friend or this person and have that experience. It's very much tied to me, what I found, if you're familiar at all with Gary Chapman's love languages, I love quality time. So I love to give from that place. And I also love to know, like, what are the people that I love around me? What are their love languages? Because, for example, my husband is acts of service. So, what could I do for him in this month that he would so appreciate? That doesn't necessarily fall into the traditional gift giving, right? We would think, oh, I need to buy him a new shirt, or I need to buy this person as the perfect thing. Like the idea of that, there's so much pressure. That's why, to me, what would you do if you could do whatever you wanted? To me, I created some very important, very, very special to me rituals. And one of the things I did years ago is I said to my husband, because we're very busy this time of year, I said, the one thing I really want, and everything else is just, again, extra bonus, is a heartfelt card letter from you. And that to me is my favorite thing every year. And I have a collection now of those that I look at every Christmas. I can look at any time when I'm feeling, you're having a day or off day. Those are the things that I think truly matter. No one wants somebody else to be put out, I don't think. I mean, this is how gift giving has just gotten so much. And I even think about it with the kids as well too, right? There's so much. When I was a teacher, it's like so much exposure to, like, you should have this and you should have this and this is like, oh, you got that new last year, but you need it new this year. And like that energy of that, right? Instead of feeding it, it's like, okay, what can I do? My brother always did something beautiful for my niece and nephew's birthdays, and he spent a day with them. And again, this idea of quality time, connection, meaning, what would be meaningful? And if you can't do it all, like there's a couple things you want to do, spread it out. Next year, if you're thinking about this, start in October, November. Like it doesn't have to be the one day or the 3 weeks around. It can be exactly what you want it to be. Some years I've been way more energetic about being able to, like, plan ahead of time. I always think the more we do for ourselves and we're not up against the pressure, I make bad decisions. I've made bad decisions shopping when I feel like I'm, like, under this time constraint. So that's artificial. We make that up. We say we have to, whatever, whatever, whatever. I always say now, if I don't find something or I'm forcing it, I don't generally like to put myself in those positions. So I really do try again to spend a little bit of time on the front end and make it simple. So taking some of whatever it is that I'm using hopefully will be helpful. What do you do when you notice you're just in your vibe that really works and feels good for you? Because I think also too, like I've also given up the idea that I have to get the perfect whatever for anybody. I don't. And so that like, I'm like, if they don't like it, they can return it, they can I'm good with whatever, however that happens. I also love, and this is just me using my intuition. It's like, "Ooh, what is this person truly wishing for or wanting this holiday season?" And sometimes that's a conversation to have with somebody, but also to just intuitively feel into, "Ooh, you know, like, maybe again, their favorite coffee shop, a little gift card, a nice, meaningful, not just scribble your name, but just a couple sentences. Those are the things that last and have energy, and I think that it's a brave, radical approach to do more of that and less of the overconsumption this time of year, right? Everything is in excess. And it's like one of the other beliefs that I have is like, I'm already enough. I don't need anything outside of me in order for me to feel complete and whole and joyous and blissful this time of year. A gift is wonderful, but not a gift is also wonderful. And I think when we can get into those neutral places, which is where the holidays push up against, we can look at it from a different perspective that will create something that's like, am I doing this just because I've always done it? Am I doing it because I feel pressure to do it? What would work better? Would gifting my family like an experience, like maybe we go away in the spring or maybe we go away next holiday and we just mix it up. Allowing yourself to make your own rules in the moment, because I also believe things sh I don't wanna say should. I like them being fluid, right? That's life, being in the flux of life and the flow of life, and allowing yourself those spaces. All right. Let me know what you think about my gift giving. It is a little different. It is a little bit made up according to me, but it really has helped me be in much better spirits all year or all this kind of season long because I don't find myself kind of in those moments of pressure as much because I'm like, ooh, what can I do now? And what small, simple hacks can I use that are going to really be true and authentic to me, but they're also not gonna make me do loop-de-loops for 3 weeks in December. All right, tell me what you think. I also love, like, well, oracle reading, like, fun things, like, at the end of the like, those are my kind of things that I enjoy receiving. So, again, not the traditional thing that most people would think of, so I just enjoy that as well too. All right. Let me know what your biggest struggle is if you want to share, and we can talk about it over in the Facebook group Everyday Enchantment. Or if you have a really incredible idea that you do, I think that, again, it's all about giving ourselves some grace, some compassion, some imperfection in all of this. Not if we're going down the path of stressing ourselves out, being the one that can absolutely be on our own side this time of year because again, we can easily be bullying ourselves and it's like, I'll take a pass on that. All right, loves, have a beautiful rest of your day. I will talk to you soon. Come over and let's chat and let's find out all the things that we're all doing that we can borrow, steal, and tweak for ourselves. That's it for now, loves. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Get all the juicy details and links we've mentioned in the show notes. If learning more about how you can use your own enchantment to live a oh hell yes life, come get your own coaching session with me by going to staceyandon.com and signing up for my homepage. And as always, come chat with me about this topic and all things enchantment in my Facebook group, Everyday Enchantment. See you on the flip side.